This is another live. I'm making something to say. You know, I might fall victim with my videos of sounding somewhat repetitive, right? Same issue. I was trying not to make this video. I never had any intention, but it does occur to me. Usually, I haven't made no video to myself in a real long time. Um, and usually I feel the intent in these dire situations to make these videos, and I just never felt to make it today. But now I'm here doing it because I have something to say actually. Certain things, and I just want to document it as just put it out there. The games and tricks that was being played on me by my family, fighting over property, wealth, you know, the greed, jealousy, and it never mattered that I was an orphan, was a child, nothing, and the stigma, the stigmatism never left, and it still affect me detrimentally in my adulthood because they've ruined my reputation for no reason. They ruin a lot of things and making it difficult, and then they're just so cold hearted and ill will and vicious people. I was like, the story, is really hard for me to talk about these things. It really irks me. So when I do I'm expressing these dissertations, or this rhetoric, or when I'm explaining, it takes a lot out of me to explain, because the perspective, and when you're seeing it in the light of what it is and not from your emotional perspective, it hits harder. It hits hard. It still doesn't neglect the fact that you know this is the light of the situation, and it just so occur I still in a rut. You know, I had let me talk some positive stuff. I had recently landed a job, but I was here thinking so I could have make whatever money I have last me until the Monday and the next week until I get paid, which was impossible and implausible, especially with a lot of stuff that just have so happened to occur in my life, right? And then the thing with the economy, inflation rates and stuff like that. And it's really getting hot out here. And then it just happened that, I don't know what's happening with my house, why I've paid my bills, and somehow there's no water in. I'm not sure if is it something that normally occur growing up, so I kind of used to it. But being here and working and seeing like, I need to get up to go to work, I need to go bed, that kind of way. I don't see like, oh, that's going to work out. I thought it's something they had already. Cause the past 25 years I live here is that something consistent what they keep up with. But usually it's there for in the morning time. So I don't know if it's water pressure low or what's the hell going on outside of that. I can try not to worry about it. Try not to worry about it. Cause I need to even get my job. So I landed a job, right? Um, so I just was looking for assistance from my aunties abroad, but a lot of stuff I've come to understanding that they just was playing me and using me like a pawn, and they was trying to set me against my cousin for fight over things. So, I notice all the callousness, the sideways movements, and they're not acting like certain things. Certain things that's not the reasoning and logics, the grasp and reasoning and logics, just for some reason is just coming like, and it seems like they only project this when it becomes bizarre is when they're handling me. I notice what I'm talking about handle, right? So, I'm really like, I'm really devastated. It's just that the fact that I really had done off for them a long time ago. When I come to the full realization, you know, when I come to the full realization, I feel like I was overdoing myself anyways too, overplaying myself too. Like I really felt it was real. That's the only thing I've ever said that I ever felt that was real and wasn't even real. And I feel no way about it now. Cause I said like, Jano, I should have known. I should have known. From the weird stuff about dealing with certain people, this and that, and it don't make any sense. Don't make any sense. And then all them more down on my skin say me for work and this individual not working and then me supposed to come take care of them. While I saying like some of the stuff was very inconsistent. And I don't wanna go. It's hard for me to go really in depth because it's like you're finding the words to describe this horrible, hideous, you know, event or series of events that kept on taking place. And you just want to be able to leave it alone. But my life depends on if it get out there, the truth, the truthful version. Because there's only ever one truth. People like to go on like there's one side of the story, but there's no side. There's those only a spectrum. The two perspective don't defeat the truth. You see me? The two, if there is even a two perspective, because there's only one truth. You see me? So, I had to let go of all my attachments to certain things. And certain things I just never had no attachment to it for even see, for even see it in a perspective that's that's shrouded. The only thing that was my problem, and I was young. And then there's people indoctrinating me and trying to brainwash me like some kind of a cult, right? All for wealth and just to abuse me. Them do all sort of satanic rituals. It's like, no, it really mean nothing to me. It still affect me in a psychological way where I feel like I do have PTSD. Because, I find myself always needing to smoke as a comfort. Like, my anxiety get real off, especially when I'm around people. Especially people who I don't know, I'm not comfortable being around. So it's PTSD how these guys came in here and do me. Like it was already bad what how my family do me. And like, yo, these guys break in and just start terrorizing me. And it's like, I don't have anything against homosexual people. I don't find it say to be hyper aggressive against homosexual people in the States, but the stuff that I was already uncomfortable with, you know, that the homosexual thing. And then when these guys came in here and just start like, yo, this ugly looking short guy will look like a troll, like some kind of troll slash leprechaun. Some of the stuff, like, I never even know people look like these things. You know, he had no teeth. The guy came and been naked, basically naked, knocking on my door every night. It was just crazy. And sometimes he would barge in if I never lock the door. And the man would be standing over me, doing all sort of crazy stuff. And I just never make it reach that far. This little short leprechaun looking ugly. You know, I wish I had. It might just sound like me just saying stuff. I just want to clarify that I'm from Jamaica. I'm from the islands, and I guess people look this deformed or anything. I really and truly try to talk in a manner that seems absent of some like emotional attachment to the story. I just trying to describe it, but really and truly, I don't like this person, and I don't think my disliking of this person is encouraging my perspective of considering him in such a manner. I feel like it's actually vice versa. You see me? So this guy was an ex-convict who deportee. Um, he had so happened to go up into the United States and killed a bag of people for no reason. And while he was selling drugs. So they deport him back out here, and he come been stalking me for years. I don't know this gentleman. I don't what gentleman. I don't know this individual for years. I used to see him. And this man is like in his 40s, 50s, and he's been stalking me the entire time while I was going to high school. What had happened now? It seems as he got to my cousin. This man is a pedophile. His name is what his name? Delroy Elliott. Right? So what he had done is got a hold of my cousin. He's a pedophile. Him start grooming my cousin and start turning him into, but he was already a terrible human being already. So it wasn't like it's some hard to believe or something devastated. Is really actually said he was pushed into this direction. It won't reflect say he would have been a better person or turn out a better person in life. He was always like a little menace. Well, all of these people that I lived in this household with have always been like they've been like psychopaths, right? Even down to the little children, the little babies be psychopath, and they're trying to groom them and train them and let them out on society when they're done. And they're trying to set these people to want jeopardize my well-being, because the plethora amount of times I've lived in this house and being threatened by the children that they're going to kill me, or and saying being the older one and being in such a detrimental situation where you have to sit down and tolerate that from a little child for like 25 years was devastating, you know, and then say your life in jeopardy, regardless of say, the fact that you have the power to defend yourself, but you can't defend yourself because of the latent consequences that these people might bring serious harm to you more than what they've been bringing before. So I've always tried to find somewhere to get a peace of mind. And I used to find it in TV shows till that effect wear off, and I realized that these people were weaponizing the television, because I never caught a hold of it, because they always would take it away from me. So so when I noticed they was using it, because I'm coming near the age, right, where I need to go off or get real experience, right? And I real worried. I become real worried because my CXC coming up, and I don't feel like I'm being exposed to things what I need to do that would be help me advance in my life, right? So I see, like, I know these people how them stay already. They don't want me go outside. They don't want me do anything. My vision terrible. They don't want me travel or anything or go anywhere. Them don't want me have no job. Them don't want me this. And if them want to take whatever little money I have, so I just there, trying watch Discovery Channel. And it just occurred to me, none of these things help me go make any money or pass any test that's within my country. You see me? It's not helping me. It wouldn't help me because I've, applied these things. What I learned from these documentary, and because of the literacy level of my country, it doesn't apply. It doesn't, things, common knowledge things don't apply here. So I wanted to start take life seriously. So I said locked away myself in my room for just this summer and started studying. You know, it felt like it never get me anywhere because these people always came up with some more spectacularly wicked to, you see me? And I always was dependent on my grandmother to try hoping, said just hoping. And the woman was never on my side. She always would try to play me, to be the victim, to run, come to her just so she can show me, say, discard me and abandon me. And it felt disgusting every day of my life. There was nothing. And the only scapegoat was school. And even that was, there was a person me at school. So I really and truly, I never really had no real nothing to be, no real room. I've always lived with like a shadowy figure over my head because of these people. Always intimidated. Say how this going, how these people going, what if this, and how this would make them feel, or this and that. I never really even talked to women until I've realized that I'm free and none of the consequences going. You see me, I just realized I'm a big man, you know? So all of these things what them used to guilt trip me with, to threaten me with, no longer there. So I started embracing myself, and I could have buy whatever I want. I could have saved my money. Could have do a lot of things. You know, I felt like truly, honestly, although the stress was there, I could have escaped it. Like I come from work, buy a bottle of Guinness, I'm a Gucci. My drop asleep. Buy my back Guinness, but here's the part where I was saying like I've become. I don't consider myself an addict, but by the medical definition of addiction, I would be classified as an addict because I smoke a lot. I smoke. I smoke when if I have it, I'll smoke around the clock. To be honest, if I'm at home and not working, even if I'm not at home, I'll be smoking. You know, I just like it ease my mind, is this. Drinking has its perks, but I don't. Drinking has its perks, but lately, with all things stressful, the feeling, the composition of how you feel. That's what I'm looking for. So, I'll drink rum because it help alleviate the stress more, and it's just a different texture, feeling, you know, than just being smoking by itself, or even just drinking by itself. Because drinking by itself don't really feel so good. Doesn't really feel so anesthetizing when you just do it by yourself. So I just try focus on the positive stuff. These things help me focus on positive